Bill, afternoon. We had obviously a great weekend this past weekend. It was an enjoyable experience for us, obviously, when you get two great wins like we did. And, going into the weekend, obviously, we knew that we had two teams in Chadron that was much improved from what they have been in the past. They've been playing some really good basketball. And obviously Black Hill State, who is, has been a good rival and was picked second to finish in the league in that place. So, for us, again, it was just one of those things that we look for a great opportunity to play against two good teams, and then finally to be at home is always exciting. And then the third thing was to be able to have some fans be in the house and be able to watch us play, and I know our players really enjoyed that. So going into the first game against Chadron, we felt like we had some pretty good matchups with us on the offensive end. We knew on the defensive end that they posed some problems with us because they had some guards that were really quick, extremely athletic, and they could also shoot the ball. So when you put those two combinations together, that's a tough assignment for you. But it's something our guys obviously look forward to in the challenge. We really challenged them as a staff that the things that they had to do as far as taking away the dribble drive, and then at the same time be able to get out on shooters. So, and I thought in the first half, I thought we did a lot of good things that way. We were able to build a couple double-digit leads. We just weren't quite able to get it pull away, and the main reason for that is because our free throw shooting kind of left us for the week. We've been almost a 75% free throw shooting team, and then we could into these last two games, and we've been shooting in the 60s and 50s. So, that was something you don't really plan for, but yet it happened. And so I was really happy with our guys in the second half. They turned up the pressure. They got more physical with us. And at times we didn't respond like we want to, but we got better as the game went on. There was plenty of times where, Chadron was able to make some runs on us. And they actually I think you maybe took the lead once on us. And so, we had opportunities where, we could have laid down on it. And we didn't. Our guys showed some mental toughness and were able to kind of hang in there. And, obviously at the end it was extremely exciting. Came down again to some missed free throws. And, for us to be able to come down and we've really been preaching to our guys about making the extra pass. And sometimes not necessarily the first pass, even though you got a shot, there's even a better shot available. And I think that last play of the game totally epitomized that. They came out and doubled Ollie right away. Ollie found Josiah. Then they ran two guys at Josiah, and Josiah probably could have shot it right there when he dribbled in, but then saw Mort had even a better look and was able to find Mort for the three in the win. And Mort is finally, for some people asked and said, hey, your big guy finally didn't know he could shoot the three, and that's one of the reasons why we recruited him, is because he could shoot the three. And he showed that this past weekend. I think he was 4 for 5 in the two games from three-point line. And I think he's going to have to do a little bit more of that. He's been so successful in the post. People have been really trying to take away him from the post. So now another opportunity for us is to get him out on the perimeter and get some shots out there as well. So that was good for him. And obviously that was a good quality win at home for us. And then going to Saturday's game, Black Hills, they had actually been coming off of quarantine, and so we knew some of their guys because they have some guys returning. Obviously, we knew about Joel Scott, who was a heck of a player and was an all-conference player last year. And, Whitley, also one of their guards. But other than that, they had a lot of new parts. And so we had kind of had a work cut out for us. They had only played 4 games going into that. And then, actually 5. They played the night before against Western State. And really, a team that we lost to, they just demolished by 25. And so, we knew that coming in that we were facing a really good Black Hill State team, and so big thing for us going into it from a defensive standpoint is that we knew we had to protect the paint against them. Scott's very good inside there, and they run a lot of ball screen action, and so we wanted to obviously defend the ball screen extremely well, and I thought we really did that early on. And again, it really came down to some turnovers and some missed free throws. Otherwise, we'd go on with probably a bigger lead. I think we had a 2-point lead at half, and it probably could have had a bigger lead at halftime. Probably should have held them to under 30 defensively, and probably should have put a few more points on the board. So I think we probably should have been up around 40 plus in that first half. But, we kind of regrouped there in the second half and knew that they were going to make a good run at us. And we were able to, again, build a lead to start the second half, and I was really happy with our start. Then they started trying to change some things defensively. They're trying to take us out of rhythm. They put a press on us. Initially, we didn't handle it great for a couple possessions, but once we settled down, I thought we did a really good job against the press. And then they went into a zone, and we don't see a lot of zone, and especially an odd front zone like they were running. And so we worked on it and stuff, but again, it took us a couple possessions to kind of get what we wanted to do, and so that did throw us off track a little bit for a couple possessions, which in the meantime allowed them to make little mini runs to kind of get themselves back in the game. And so that kept it close, and of course then again the free throw shooting kind of bit us a little bit in the second half, but it bit them too. They missed a lot of free throws as well. And so I think in the end, it probably became a little bit of a wash, but it's something that we don't count on, is missing those free throws like that. And that could have probably helped us out a little bit down the stretch to not keep it so close. But give them a lot of credit that they were able to make some plays defensively too. And I know they hit a couple key threes coming down the stretch. And so for us, again, I was just really proud of our guys. We didn't panic. We kind of just hung in there, and Ollie had a heck of a game. And from not only a defense standpoint, which he got Player of the Week, RMAC Player of the Week, but he was also really good on the offensive side. He's really starting to learn how to use the ball screen. He's obviously a scorer, but he's starting to get to where he's finding guys as well, and starting to be able to find those open guys when people are collapsing on him. So we're really happy with the way he played. And then Will Dixon, senior night on Saturday night against BH, and Will Dixon just had a tremendous, almost a perfect senior night. Have 26 points, 11 boards. I think it was, or did he have? He might have had 6 boards. I'm sorry, I think all he had 11 boards. And so, but he had 26 points. They really didn't have an answer for him. We were able to post up some of their guards, and he did a great job of scoring there. And then, of course, he stepped out and hit the three, which he's very good at as well. So, it was really a good night for him. And then our other senior, Trey Smith, came in and hit a big three for us early in the second half also, and he had a good game. So I was really happy for both our seniors to have a really quality senior night as well. So now the next thing, I guess, Brad, give me the nod. We're going to go ahead and watch some highlights from both these games. So first up here against Chadron, here's Ollie, like you said, here's just us making 2 good extra passes, and then Josiah being able to take his guy off the dribble and get us started. This was like our first offensive possession right there. And then you can see defensively, we're doing a great job, get our hand in the pass lane. Ollie beats their guy down the floor, able to lay it in. That's one of his steals for the game, and it helped him get that award for the week. Again, coming off another ball screen, does a great job finding Mortensen down the lane. And here's it is again, just a really nice find. Nice little hesitation, able to get him the ball down the lane. And then, he's got great post moves for a little guard as well. So, here's a nice little shot fake. Was going to get him on the up and under, got him on, and turned a little fadeaway off of it. So he's got a lot of tools. And this is Brevin Walter, really nice take to the basket. Brevin's got that ability. Not only can he shoot the three, but he's really quick off the dribble and can get himself to the basket. He started really coming around. And then Keegan Smith had a good weekend. He came in and hit some threes, knocked down when he gets there. And then here he drives and finds Mortensen on a little pick and pop action again. And Mort knocking down one of his 4 threes for the weekend. This is our last play in regulation. We wanted to get Brevin going all the way to the rim, which we got. And then he missed it, but we crashed. We just about got the tip. I thought it was a pretty well executed play with the ball not going in the hoop. So, for something we just drew up in the play, we really hadn't worked on it. That was pretty good. And then in the overtime, I thought we did a really good job coming out attack. I know they kind of got out early on us. Again, we didn't panic, and I think the good thing is we've been in an overtime game already this year, so that helped us out. Again, nice little hesitation by Ollie, being able to get to the rim. And then here, fortunately, they miss a second shot on a free throw. We get the rebound. We're going to spread them out and use Ollie and Mort off a ball screen. They run 2 guys at him, and then here's another 2 guys come running at Josiah, and he finds Mort on a nice little skip pass and 3 at the. It's just about 0.7 seconds, I think, is what they ended up putting back on the clock when he knocked that down. So, really well executed. And it's just guys making basketball plays at that point, and so I was really happy for them with that. And then obviously the Black Hills, again, just a really good experience to have people in the gym. You can see we got some people there, and And you're just going to see us really good job of sharing the ball again. Some really nice passes. Here's Will stepping out, hitting a three, 2 or 3 of his 26 that he had for the night. And then again, him going to the basket here, a nice little floater with the right hand, little baby hook. Just a really nice, solid play. And under control, and that's what we've really been preaching to our guys, stay under control. There's again a nice little take to the basket by Brevin, showing his ability to get to the rim and being able to finish. Actually got hit here, thought it was a foul, but good job of finishing with that contact. Here's a nice little backdoor play we run out of bounds. We got him twice on this same play. Had 2 different guys guarding Ollie, and we were able to get him both times with it. 2 good calls by Coach Trinipol with that. And then, coming here again, nice little kick out for the 3 for Trey Smith. Really good find there. And then, heck of a nice little pivot here by Will, and using his pivots and keeping that pivot foot down and not traveling. That's a nice move by him. And again, pick and pop action to more. And I think we're going to see more of this out of him as we continue to go. And hopefully we get this weekend, we can get some of that for him as well. Keegan Smith from the right corner, like I said, he was really starting to feel it this weekend, and that's what he can do. He's a guy that he can fill it up in a hurry. You don't want to leave him. I'm glad he was able to get open, and then he can also get to the basket. He's 6'6" and about 210 pounds at least. He's a big, strong kid. That last play there, I thought we defended that really well. I think the first look there was to go to Joel Scott, and we went and we doubled him off. And we switched the 2 guard screens up top. They did a great job of communicating and switching those screens. And then it made them have to, and he never really even got the shot off. We were able to do a good job and not fouling. In those situations, obviously you can see he kicked out his leg. He was trying to draw a foul too at the same time. And I thought Keegan did a great job of contesting that shot and without fouling. And then actually, contested enough where he wasn't able to get it off in time, and the light had already gone off. So, again, for a young team, just really, really impressed with our guys and just the way that they've been able to show a lot of poise. They don't seem to get rattled real easy. You go back to our very first weekend where it was a pretty rough weekend for us, and since that time, we've grown up quite a bit. I mean, we still got a ways to go, but we've grown up quite a bit, and I'm just really impressed with the resolve that our team has. So, Brad, any questions there?
Well, you answered most of them, but kind of walk us through what postseason is going to look like this year. I know the magic number is 11, but
well, in order to be considered, you got to have 11. So you're not automatically in if you play 11. So for us, we don't really pay too much attention to it because honestly, there's just so much more to go, and you don't know what's going to happen yet. Technically, we haven't, out of our 22 games, we've played 10 at this point. By Tuesday, when we play Pueblo, that'll be our 11th game. So technically, we'll be halfway through at that point with 4 weeks to go. So there's going to be a lot of basketball in a hurry at that time. And so a lot of things can change during this next 4 weeks. So I think the big thing for us is that we just need to continue to focus on what we do. And that's always been the way we are. We don't worry about wins. We don't even worry about the wins and losses. For us, it's all about a process. We want to play a certain way. We always say if we play a certain way, that's our way, we can have a chance to beat anybody. But we know this too, if we don't play our way, that we can be beat by anybody. So I think for us is just sticking to that process. But if you want to know how the whole system works and stuff, it's based on an RPI system, which means it's all based on points. So, wins against good teams, are obviously going to be worth more points. Wins against teams with losing records are still good, but they're worth less points. And then it's the same with losses. You lose to a good team, it's not going to hurt you as bad as it would be a loss against a team that's, say, under 500 or even under 250%. So it's just one of those things that you just got to. It's too crazy because there's not going to be a lot of equality, and it's too hard to even try to figure out. I think someone told me that we were third in the standings, which really means nothing at this point, because even by points, I don't even figure out where we would be with points right now. We might even not be that high when it comes to points. So for us, obviously, we want to get at least 11 games in, which I think we're going to do. We're at 10 right now. I don't think there's going to be any problem for us to be able to get 11. Well, and the next thing would be for us is to, just be able to just keep trying to play well and collect some wins along the way. And I think if we continue to do what we do, that's going to happen. It's going to help the fact that we're going to be at home for pretty much the remainder of the season. We got one more big road trip coming up this weekend to Colorado Springs. And after that, our only 2 road trips are down to Chadron and over to Spearfish. So those aren't really much for road trips. And we play pretty well in both places. So.
All right, and just give us a little preview on the Mountain Lions.
Well, the Mountain Lions, they are an extremely long and athletic team. They've had some really good wins. They played some good teams, and that's the other thing, like I said, the inequality, sometimes, your games that are getting canceled for some of these teams are against teams that they probably want to play because they're not one of the top teams in the league, and so a good way for them to maybe collect some wins. And I think that's happened to UCCS a little bit. They've had some games, some teams that they would probably have a really good chance of beating, and they've been the ones that have been canceled, and then the ones that aren't are against Colorado Mines and Mesa, who are really the top 2 teams in the league right now. So I think for them, is you don't really want to look at their record because it could be very deceiving. They've had a couple really good road games that they've got wins on. They won at Colorado State Pueblo, and they also won at Metro, who I think is actually a really tough team. So, they are going to be a team that defensively, they're really hard to score on. And then the other side of it is, we consider ourselves one of the top rebounding teams in the league. I think we're sitting second in rebounding margin. They're number 1 in rebounding margin. And so they're a heck of a rebounding team too. And so it's going to be a nice challenge for us to really, take that and see how well we can rebound against that team as well as we go against them. But, from an offensive standpoint, I think we've got a chance to be able to do some things. We see some things that we think we can exploit against them. And but they have statistically done a very good job defensively. On the offensive side, they really get to the free throw line. Their field goal percentage isn't extremely high, but boy, do they get to the free throw line, and they shoot the free throws very, very well. And that makes up for the lack of field goal percentage. So, I think the big thing for us is be able to guard them, get them to shoot the shots we want them to shoot, and do it without fouling. That's going to be really big for us.
All right, and then we have a rescheduled game then set for Tuesday.
Yes, we have a rescheduled game. This was supposed to be, I believe, on January 9th. We were supposed to, or 8th maybe, January 8th or 9th, whatever that Saturday was. We were supposed to play Colorado State Pueblo at that time, and we had COVID issues, so we ended up not playing that game. And so unfortunately we were able to reschedule. We were going to reschedule it for actually Monday, and I think it was going to be a doubleheader, and the girls for some reason had to schedule theirs on Tuesday. But CSU Pueblo has again had some COVID issues here recently, and they've been in quarantine, so they were going to not get out till this weekend. So they wanted to push that game back and make Tuesday a doubleheader, which I think works out better. Should have been probably that way in the first place, but it's worked out that way, and it's going to be great that we're going to have 2 great games. We're going to have the women play at 5:30, and then we're going to be following them up right around approximately 7:30 on Tuesday night. So.
All right, Coach, that's everything we had for you this week. Good luck this weekend, and we'll visit with you next week.
Great. Thanks, Brad.
Hi, Hard Rocker fans. This is Coach Jerry Jacobson with the women's basketball team here at South Dakota Mines. Coming off a fun weekend, both teams, men's and women's, got the sweep over Chadron State and Black Hills. And we finally were able to have some fans too, so that was something that was really exciting. And along with that, we decided to do senior night on that weekend as well, because their parents could come. And so we celebrated 2 seniors, Francesca Facchini from Italy. Obviously her parents weren't able to come, but she was able to have her boyfriend and her boyfriend's parents able to escort her onto half court, and so it was kind of nice to be able to celebrate her. And I know that senior season hasn't gone the way that any of the seniors had planned or envisioned, but we're trying to make the most of it. And we also celebrated Michaela Shackley, who's been a Hard Rocker for 4 years, and her entire family was able to make it. And so it was a special night for Shaq, and she will be our special guest here in a little bit, so we'll let her talk a little bit too. But I'm jumping forward to the Black Hills game real quick. She came out, and senior night can always go one of 2 ways. and it went the way we wanted it to. She was fired up. She came out firing on all cylinders. Our point guards and our guards and posts were able to find her on some kickouts and got her going early. And it was one of those fun senior nights that's also against your rival. So it was just a great atmosphere and a great ball game. Going backwards, we'll go back to Chadron State on Thursday night. I thought we came out flat. We came out with no energy, and so that was something. We had really placed a lot of emphasis on Friday when we came back into practice. And, Thursday night, we changed up our starting lineup a little bit, and then, we subbed Melissa Johnstone in, and she gave us a lot of spark, a lot of energy, and was playing really well, and then went down with an injury, so that was pretty hard for her and for our team, and we found a way to win on Thursday, and sometimes that's all it takes is finding a way. And then Friday, we kind of came together as a team and talked about a lot of different things of what it takes to take a good team to a great team. And the gals kind of rallied around Mel a little bit, and I joked with Mel the other day. I said, well, we're trying to make lemonade out of the lemon we were just dealt. I was like, and you're all the sugar that's added to that lemonade. And so she's trying to do a great job of embracing her leadership role and continuing to be that energy and that positive voice for our team. And I think Saturday was really indicative of that. You could really tell the difference between Thursday night and Saturday just by the way we came out with fire and energy, and you could tell they were enjoying playing together and playing for each other. And that was one of the things that we had talked about in the locker room was, we're plenty talented, but do we have that extra little team chemistry, that little extra spark, extra energy that's going to take us to the next level. So it was a great team win Saturday. We're excited to keep moving forward and continue to get more games. It was, I think we're one of the few lucky teams in the country right now. We got to play 2 games in 1 week, and not a lot of teams get to do that. And so that's something we try to stay cognizant of as well and be grateful for every single time we get that opportunity. That being said, we'll move on to some highlights from our Black Hills game. I thought we came out with a lot of defensive intensity. Here's Shaq starting off. And I think that really led to our offense is because we were so intense on defense and getting after it, getting steals, being able to get out in transition. That's Anna Combalia. I teased Anna. I said, well, now you set the bar high because now we know you can really defend and score the ball. And everybody just laughed. But it was nice to see people step up and really lock down on defense and, like I said, really play together well as a team. Ryan with a great attack. Getting out in transition again. Shaq with a layup. I said getting those defensive stops is huge for our offense. Anna finding Shaq on a kick out. That might have been 3 or 4. I'm not sure which number that 3 was for her. Inbounds play we try to sneak in once in a while. And Anna with a runner. Again, nice defensive play so we could get out in transition. Ryan getting the and one. Nice little pick and roll action with Anna and Naomi. Naomi was absolute beast on the boards for us. She ended up with 13 rebounds on the game, and that's something that, this game made me proud in a lot of ways, but, seeing the things that we really emphasize in practice, seeing them happen on the court during games is something that's very rewarding, and you're very proud of your players for translating it from practice into games. Another steal. Ryan getting out of transition again. Like I said, it was a fun game, fun team win, and it really started with our defensive intensity, and we were scrambling all over, hustling to get the ball, getting tons of rebounds. Like I said, Naomi had 13. And those are just the big areas that we really emphasize in practice, and so it's always fun to see them happen in games. Moving forward, we have Colorado Springs this weekend, Friday at 5:30, and they're kind of a similar team to us, similar matchup, so it should be a fun game. They play 4 out, 1 in. They have some good guard pieces, and they have a good post player too, who has a nice presence on the inside. And then we were able to reschedule our Pueblo game that was postponed earlier this month. And so hopefully we'll be playing that next Tuesday, and then following with Mesa and Westminster. So if all goes well, we'll have a lot of games in the next week, which is really exciting and kind of something, like I said, that's unique, and we're just really grateful for. And we hope that everybody continues to test negative so we can have those opportunities. Any questions?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have a few. First off, we had fans this past weekend. Could you see that have an effect on on your players?
I did, yes. I think them just knowing that their families were in the stands and being able to play in front of their families, that's something that's been really important to them. And I remember as a player what it was like to have your parents or siblings in the stands, and I think that just added a little extra juice, I guess you would say, to our team. And in terms of noise and stuff like that, I can't say that I really noticed it. I just hear our bench all the time, and I gauge whether we're engaged in the game and given good energy based on the bench. But like I said, I do think it added a lot to just our players' experience to be able to have their families there.
All right, and then the back-to-back wins. Do you see a new sense of confidence throughout your players?
I do. After Saturday morning shoot-around, I was like, okay, I think we've got it now. Just by the way they were acting in shoot-around, by the way they were just engaged with each other, and so I think that's a trend we're going to continue to see. And as a coaching staff, we're going to make sure that we continue to emphasize that every single week in every single practice and game and opportunity that we get. But yes, I do think this is a big turning point for us, and I think they realize how much fun it is when we can play like that. And so I think that kind of gave everybody a little bit more confidence.
That's all the questions I had.
Perfect. With that, I will turn it over to Michaela Shackley, our senior, and let her talk a little bit about herself.
Hi, I'm Michaela Shackley. I'm a senior from Arvada, Colorado. I'll be graduating this May with a degree in biological sciences and a minor in chemistry. This weekend was awesome. It was really special for me to be able to have, parents, teammates, old teammates, current teammates. Just, it was an opportunity that we weren't sure that we were ever going to get this season with everything going on. And so just being able to have those fans in the stands really meant a lot to me and to my other teammates, and so that was really awesome. The Chadron game, it didn't really go as we had expected. We started off really slow, and I think we were kind of expecting it to just be an easy win and kind of play down to their level, and they came out with a lot of fire. And so, we battled back, and like Coach said, sometimes all it takes is just finding a way. We had talked about it in the locker room of just starting off the Black Hills game with our foot on the gas and just never letting up, and I think we did a really great job of setting the tone early for that game. It's a rivalry game, it's big. That's the first time I've ever played in BBH along with some of our other older teammates, so it was really awesome. And just to be able to show our fans what Hardin Rucker basketball really is compared to our game against Chadron was really nice. It was senior night. Props to my teammates for finding me when I was open. And the first one went in and it felt good. And I think everyone kind of saw that, and so they just kept looking for me. And then we knew that at halftime they were going to make adjustments. And I think that Ryan and Anna did a great job of stepping up and finding their shots as well. Anna did a great job attacking the rim. Ryan's a very versatile player. She got a lot of steals in transition. She hit her shots. Naomi was great on the board. So, all around it was a great game by all of us. and I think we're kind of starting to mesh well together. And so it's awesome to see. And, you know, like Coach said, we could have 4 games in the next week, and I'm just really excited to see us continuing to develop and grow as a team and just, you know, mesh like we have been.
All right, got a few questions for you. First one, obviously, with the way this season is and all the COVID and protocols and stuff, what's been the most challenging thing for you to adjust to this season?
I think for me, what's just hard is just the unexpected of not knowing, you know, are we going to be in quarantine, or is the game going to get canceled or postponed, or how many games are we going to get? And we've done a really good job of, you know, just controlling what we can control and accepting that, and, you know, just taking every opportunity that we get when we do hit a game. And so we're just really hopeful that, you know, we can at least get our 11 games in and potentially be considered for a playoff game.
All right, and then along those lines, what would you say your goals are for this season as opposed to maybe some other season?
I think for us, it's just really, you know, creating a bond that's going to last. A lot of us at our team retreat talked about being a part of something that's bigger than ourselves, and so I think this year is just a great opportunity to get to know each other and create a foundation for what it means to be a Hard Rocker women's basketball player. And so I think just, you know, taking advantage of every opportunity that you're given, and, you know, we'd love to host a playoff game, so hopefully, you know, with these 4 games, we can get some road wins that would be really critical to helping us get to the top of the RMAC standings.
All right, and then away from basketball, you said you're done in May. What happens after that?
That's a great question. You know, this year has posed a lot of difficulties, you know, outside of just basketball and not knowing what's going on. But I'm hopefully going to be applying for more school after graduation, specifically medical school. So I'll take the MCAT in May. It'll be my 2nd time taking it, and then applying in August, and then hopefully getting in and go from there.
All right, and I have one final question for you. Tell us your favorite Coach Cy story.
There's so many to choose from. I just say that Coach Cy always just, you know, he says the funniest things at the most unexpected times. And, you know, you'll just be having like a serious moment, and Coach Cy will just be like, I feel like we're going to win. It's a great day to win. And you're like, yeah, Coach Cy, it is. You know, he's very optimistic. He knows when to keep things lighthearted. He's a great assistant coach. He does so much for this program behind the scenes. I don't know if I could just pick one favorite Coach Cy story, but he has a lot. He's quite the interesting character, but he has a lot of inside jokes with a lot of the team. And his one of my favorites is we show up in the locker room one day, and there's Listerine and mini cups in Ryan's locker because he had told her that that's how you keep COVID away, because he read that on the internet. And so everyone was joking, and then Coach Cy ended up getting COVID, so he wasn't using his Listerine, I guess.
Okay. All right, well, that's all the questions I had for you, Michaela. Good luck this weekend, and maybe we'll visit with you again towards the end of the season.
Thank you.